Imagine you wake up and your phone isn't there. No alarm, no news, no messages, just silence. How would you start your day?
That sounds almost impossible now. I wonder if most people could even get to work without their phones or computers. Would our lives stop, or would we find new ways to do things?
Welcome to English on Repeat. I'm Nina, and with me is Sam. Today we're exploring digitalization in everyday life. We'll talk about how technology has changed our routines, our relationships, and even our thinking.
Hi everyone! Digitalization is everywhere, from how we work to how we relax. Nina, let's start with your morning. If you really had no digital devices, what would you do first?
Honestly, I think I would feel a bit lost. Every morning, I use my phone as an alarm clock. Then I check the news, my email, and sometimes even social media before I get out of bed. If I didn't have my phone, I would need a real alarm clock and maybe a newspaper.
I know what you mean. I used to have a radio alarm clock, but now I use my phone for everything. I also check the weather app to decide what to wear. If I had to look outside and guess, I might make a mistake.
It's funny how quickly we've changed. 10 years ago, I didn't use my phone so much. I remember writing shopping lists on paper and using a paper map when I traveled. Now, I just use apps for everything.
I agree. I think digitalization has made life easier in many ways. But sometimes I wonder if we are too dependent on our devices. For example, if my phone battery dies, I feel nervous, as if I've lost something important.
That's true. I even use my phone to pay for things or to find my way in a new city. If I didn't have it, I might get lost or be late.
Listeners, what about you? How do you start your day? Do you use digital devices in the morning, or do you try to avoid screens when you wake up?
Let's talk about work and study. For me, digitalization has changed everything. I work from home, so all my meetings are online. I use email, video calls, and online documents every day. It saves time, but sometimes I miss talking to people face to face.
I work in an office, but even there, most things are digital. We use online calendars, messaging apps, and cloud storage. I remember when we used paper files and had to walk to someone's desk to ask a question. Now, I just send a message.
It's similar for students. My cousin is in high school and she does her homework on a tablet. She even takes tests online. When I was a student, I used notebooks and wrote everything by hand.
I think digital tools can help us learn faster. For example, you can watch videos, listen to podcasts, or use language learning apps. But sometimes, it's easy to get distracted. If I open my laptop to work, I often check social media or read the news instead.
That's a real problem. I sometimes use apps that block websites so I can focus. It helps, but I wish I didn't need them. Listeners, do you study or work online? What helps you focus?
One of the best things about digitalization is staying connected. I have friends and family in different countries, but we can talk every week on video calls. When I was a child, we only wrote letters or made expensive phone calls.
Yes, my family is spread across Europe. We have a group chat where we share photos and news every day. My grandmother even learned to use a tablet so she could join us. It makes her feel less lonely.
That's great! I think technology can really help older people stay in touch. But sometimes, I feel like digital communication is not as deep as talking in person. A video call is nice, but it's not the same as having coffee together.
I agree. Sometimes I miss real conversations. When I meet friends, we sometimes put our phones away so we can really talk. It's easy to forget how important face-to-face time is.
Listeners, Do you prefer texting, calling, or meeting people in person? How do you use technology to stay connected?
Let's talk about the positive sides. For me, the biggest advantage is saving time. I can pay bills online, shop for groceries, and even book a doctor's appointment without leaving home.
I agree. I also like that I can learn new things anytime. If I want to cook a new dish, I just watch a video. If something breaks at home, I look online for solutions. It's amazing how much information is available.
Also, digitalization has made travel easier. I book flights, hotels, and even museum tickets online. I can use translation apps when I visit another country. It makes me feel more confident.
That's true. And for people with disabilities, digital tools can make life much easier. For example, voice assistants can help people who have trouble using their hands, and online services can help people who can't leave home easily.
Yes, and during the pandemic, digitalization allowed many people to keep working and studying. Without video calls and online learning, it would have been much harder.
I think another advantage is that you can meet people from all over the world. I play online games with people from different countries. It's a fun way to learn about other cultures and practice English.
That's a good point. Listeners, what is the biggest advantage of digitalization for you?
Of course, there are also disadvantages. Sometimes I spend too much time online. I check my phone for messages, then I look at the news, then I watch videos, and suddenly an hour is gone.
I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel tired after a long day on the computer. My eyes hurt and I don't sleep well if I use my phone late at night. The blue light from screens can make it harder to fall asleep.
I've read that some people feel more lonely because of social media. They see perfect photos and think their own life isn't good enough. But most people only post the best moments, not the difficult ones.
Yes, and sometimes people become addicted to their devices. I have a friend who can't go to bed without checking every social media app. If she loses her phone, she feels very anxious.
That's a real problem. Also, digitalization can make us less active. If I spend all day on the computer, I don't move much. I have to remind myself to go for a walk or do some exercise.
And there are privacy concerns. We share a lot of personal information online. Our photos, our location, even our shopping habits. Sometimes I worry about who can see this information or if it can be stolen.
That's true. Cybercrime is a big problem now. People can lose money or have their identity stolen because of online scams.
So, while digitalization brings many benefits, we need to be careful and use technology wisely.
Let's try a small activity together. Listeners, think about your day yesterday. How many different digital devices did you use? For example, did you use a phone, a laptop, a smart TV, or a tablet?
Now, try to remember what you used them for. Did you use your phone to talk to friends, check the news, or play games? Did you use your computer for work or study? Maybe you watched a film online or listened to music.
Now, ask yourself, was there a moment when you could have done something without a device? For example, could you have read a book instead of watching a video? Or talk to a friend in person instead of sending a message?
This activity can help us see how much we depend on digital devices. Sometimes we use them without thinking just because it's easy or it's a habit.
If you want a challenge, try to spend one evening without screens. Read, go for a walk, cook, or talk to your family. Then, see how you feel. Was it relaxing or difficult?
Let us know in the comments if you try this. We're curious about your experience.
I think digitalization affects young people the most. Many children get their first smartphone when they are very young. They learn to use apps before they can read or write.
That's true. My niece is only 6, but she can use a tablet better than my parents. Sometimes I worry that children spend too much time with screens and not enough time playing outside or talking to other people.
I agree. When I was a child, I played football outside every day. Now, many children play games online instead. It's fun, but it's not the same as being active.
Also, children and teenagers can face problems like cyberbullying or online scams. It's important to teach them how to be safe online and to talk about what they see and do on the internet.
I think parents and teachers have to help children find a balance. Technology is a great tool, but it shouldn't replace real-life experiences.
Listeners, if you have children, how do you help them use technology in a healthy way? Or, if you are a student, how do you balance online and offline life?
Let's imagine the future. In 10 years, what do you think our daily life will look like? Will we have more digital devices, or will people want to disconnect more?
I think we will have even more smart devices. Maybe our homes will be full of things that talk to each other, like fridges that order food, cars that drive themselves, or smartwatches that check our health.
That sounds exciting, but maybe a little scary. I hope we don't forget how to do things ourselves. For example, I want to remember how to cook, read a map, or write a letter.
I agree. I think technology should help us, not replace us. For example, I like using a translation app, but I still want to learn new languages.
And I hope technology will help solve big problems, like protecting the environment or finding new ways to treat diseases.
Yes, and maybe we will find new ways to connect with people, not just through screens, but in real life too.
Listeners, what do you think the future will look like? Will digitalization make life better or more difficult?
Before we finish, let's share some tips for using digital devices in a healthy way. My first tip is to take regular breaks. If you work or study online, stand up, stretch, and look away from the screen every hour.
That's a good idea. My tip is to set limits for social media. For example, I try not to use my phone for an hour before bed. It helps me sleep better.
Another tip is to spend time outside every day, even if it's just a short walk. Nature can help you relax and clear your mind.
And try to meet friends or family in person when you can. Real conversations are important for our happiness.
Finally, be careful with your personal information online. Use strong passwords and don't share too much on social media.
If you try these tips, you might find that you feel better and enjoy life more, both online and offline.
Today, we talked about digitalization in everyday life, how it has changed the way we work, learn, connect, and relax.
We shared the advantages, like saving time and learning new things, but also the disadvantages, like screen addiction and privacy problems.
We also gave you a small activity and some tips to help you use technology in a healthier way.
Now, we'd love to hear from you. Please write in the comments, what is one thing you could do without digital devices this week? Would it be easy or difficult for you?
Thanks for listening to English on Repeat. We hope you enjoyed our conversation and learned something new.
See you next time. Don't forget to take a break from your screen and enjoy the real world.
Bye for now, everyone.